It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
LSU baseball will be back in action tonight in Baton Rouge as they welcome in the South Carolina Gamecocks for a weekend set. LSU is scheduled to throw William Schmidt as Kason Evans is still not back from injury, and the Gamecocks will go with their junior right-hander Amp Phillips. First pitch is at 6:30 this evening at Alex Box Stadium, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns will also be at home tonight as they host Georgia State on the Diamond this weekend. The Cajuns sit in 6th place in the Sun Belt Conference standings while Georgia State sits in 5th. First pitch is at 6 p.m. tonight at the Teague. The Houston Astros split their doubleheader with the Baltimore Orioles yesterday. The Astros lost Game 1 10-3, then came back and won Game 2 11-5. Now the Astros will stay on the East Coast to face the Boston Red Sox this evening at Fenway. Mike Burrows will get the start on the mound for Houston while Boston has yet to name their starter. First pitch is at 6:10 this evening, and you can listen to it on our sister station, News Talk 98.5 FM. And the McNeese Cowgirls took down Stephen F. Austin yesterday in the Southland Conference Tournament 5-4. Now the Cowgirls will move to today where they'll play the number 3 seed and in-state rival Nichols. First pitch is at 2 p.m. from Joe Miller Field. And for McNeese baseball, their road game tonight against Stephen F. Austin has been postponed due to inclement weather. They'll now play a doubleheader with the Jacks tomorrow with first pitch starting at 3 p.m. in Nacogdoches. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Mesh. Here is RP3 and Mesh on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome into this Friday edition, or a Friday edition of RP3 and Mesh as we broadcast live from inside the Beal and Hebert studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. I'm the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parsh III, better known as RP3. I'm joined inside the studios by the producer extraordinaire, the LAB award winner, and the man with the best trash stash in all of sports media in the states of Louisiana and Mississippi, James Mesh. Good day to you, sir. I'm proud that you showed up after that pitiful performance by your Boston Celtics last night.
Yeah, it's been happening.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot more than it should.
But that is no excuse to not coming to work.
There it is. There it is. He's all grown. He's all grown. Weather is wreaking havoc, and we'll continue to update you about what's going on. Obviously, we told you yesterday the decision was made by the state's High School Athletic Association to move the state championships, the semifinals and the state championships for the softball tournament in Sulphur to Saturday, Sunday, because of the bad weather that is going to be, pounding us today. And it's going to be today and tonight. So that move was already made. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns baseball team, which has a big 3-game series against Georgia State, that was supposed to start tonight as well. They made the decision this morning to go ahead and postpone it due to weather. So now they will have a doubleheader, games 1 and 2 of that series against the Georgia State Panthers. This will be now tomorrow. They'll have the Jonathan Lucroy jersey retirement ceremony at 2 o'clock for that game, and then they'll play game 2 at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and then they'll wrap up the series on Sunday. We're still waiting to hear a word about the Southland Conference softball tournament, which is taking place there in Lake Charles. We do know that McNeese obviously won their first game yesterday. They're supposed to be playing today. Will they play? That's still up in the air. So we'll give you an update on that. And then we're still waiting to find out if LSU baseball is going to continue to play their game tonight. They have not made a decision as of 11:05 on whether or not they're going to follow suit and try to play a doubleheader tomorrow as well. They welcome in South Carolina for a key 3-game series. As it stands right now, they're still on for tonight for game 1, but there's lots of scuttlebutt, if you will, about them moving and doing a doubleheader on Saturday and then wrapping up their series on Sunday. So as soon as the news breaks involving any of our teams due to the bad weather in the area, we will, of course, loop you in on that during the show. We do have a jam-packed Friday edition of the show for you. We'll have Les East on. Typically, he joins us on Thursdays, but since we didn't have a show yesterday due to Astros baseball, he will join us at 11:30. He'll give his thoughts. I'm sorry, 11:15. He'll give his thoughts on how the Saints did in the draft and what the Pelicans are going to be doing here in the offseason. Right after that, we'll get our Kentucky Derby preview. The Running of the Roses is tomorrow at Churchill Downs, and we'll do so with a man who has spent decades, plural, in the horse racing business. He's recently retired. He's also one of our longtime listeners, friend of the show and the station. You know him as Salty Steve, but Steve Flint will come and give us his expertise as we'll preview the Kentucky Derby. That'll be at 11:30. At 12 o'clock, we'll talk about the state of the LSU baseball team. Maybe we'll have an update whether or not they're going to be playing tonight or not. And we'll talk about their chances of even making an NCAA regional with our good friend Matthew Musso, host of Musso at the Box podcast. And then our fourth and final guest on this Friday edition will be Chris Gordy at 12:30 to talk all things SEC. We do have our foodie poll question of the week, which we will unveil here in the opening segment as well. But right now, it's time for us to get things started. It's time for today's specials.
The fellas can't help with your lunch plans, but they can serve up the top stories of the day in bite-sized pieces. Time to order up today's specials here on RP3 and Mesh, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street. Order up.
The special for today is the NBA playoffs, and we had some interesting games last night in the association. First off, let's give credit to the New York Knicks. They knew what their assignment was. Stop playing with your food. Stop messing around. Go out there and demolish a team that's not on your level in the Atlanta Hawks. And they tried to make history with the most lopsided playoff victory in the history of the NBA. Now, they didn't quite get there, but they got really close. They were beating Atlanta 40-15 at the end of the first. That was 40-15. That's a real score. They end up just absolutely dominating Atlanta, 140-89. They win the series in 6 games. Should have taken 6 games to beat the Atlanta Hawks? No. But this is what happened. They finally close out a team that's an inferior to them, and they punch their ticket to the next round. And they got contributions with all 5 starters scoring in double figures. They had nearly every player come off the bench as well for the Knicks in this blowout game. And actually, every player that played scored. All 5 starters scored in double figures. All 7 players off the bench. I'm sorry, correction. All 10 players that came off the bench for the Knicks all scored at least 2 points. So that's a good day at the office. That's what you want to see if you are a Knicks fan. Nice performance out there from everyone from Brunson to Bridges to Hart and to Cat and company. They all stepped up. Cat was especially good at the free throw line, going 10 for 10 on the night.
I was going to say, he got to double figures in scoring, but that was also on 1 of 4 shooting from the floor. It's funny when you look at it, I think they finished with 59% shooting as a team, which is amazing, or 56, which is great. It's just funny because the reserves shot like 2 for 5 and like 1 for 3, and it ruined the percentage. Because if not, you'd be looking at the Knicks; they'd be shooting like 70% as a team.
It would be historic.
It was historic from a different perspective as well because of the amount that they won by.
Yes, not the record. The record for the largest margin, it belongs to the Pelicans. by the way, when they were still the Hornets. They still have that record. So it was flirted with, didn't quite get there. Yeah, Cat had a triple-double as well. So, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, and a molly-whopping game.
There's nothing like opening the ESPN app to be like, all right, let's go look at what the Hawks and Knicks are doing. Oh, yeah. It's already over, and we're in the middle of the second quarter. Because I saw it was like 72-25. I was like, wow, all right.
Another series was ended last night as well as the Timberwolves, despite not having, three of their starters? Minnesota didn't have three of their starters, including...
Yeah, DiVincenzo's gone with an Achilles.
Yep.
And then Ayo, he missed last night with a knee injury.
Yeah.
So
And Ant was not there.
Yeah.
So, despite not having three of their starters, Minnesota had no problems dispatching of the Denver Nuggets, 110-98. I want to give credit to Minnesota because they had multiple guys step up. Julius Randle's really played well for them all year. Jaden McDaniels had himself a day at the office, 32 points for him. They got contributions from the ageless wonder, Mike Conley. It even got points from Rudy Gobert, which is impossible. Naz Reid, the former LSU Tiger, was good as well, 15.7 boards, 4 assists. He's just a very good, six-man. And I don't want to take anything away from Minnesota because they got the win and they close out the series. They win it in 6, and now they move on in the Western Conference.
And they did it without 3 main contributors to their team.
Correct.
So definitely got to give credit where credit is due. It's just you also look towards Denver's side.
It feels like this is going to be an offseason where Denver's going to blow things up.
It feels like something major is going to have to happen over there because remember, they already had pretty much everyone intact a couple of years ago or going back to last season. And what did they do? They decided to make the shocking move of moving off of their head coach, the guy that they had very recently won a championship
Which
with.
I thought was a mistake. They went away from Malone, and they haven't really been the same team since. Jokic is still immensely special, right? He gave you 28 points last night, 9 boards, 10 assists, 11 of 19 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Jamal Murray is still a good player, but
he did not show up for you.
He did not show up for you, which is okay. He's kind of the Robin to Jokic's Batman. But the team that won the title had multiple guys that contributed. So when you tried to double team Jokic, other guys stepped up and scored for the Nuggets team that won the NBA championship. They don't have that anymore. They don't. Like Cameron Johnson's a nice player.
Yeah. And he did well for you last night.
And look, the way their roster is constructed, they're still going to be a 50-win team. It's what they are. But another early playoff exit. And Jokic isn't getting any younger. Not to mention he prefers his offseason to be him drinking, partying, and, raising his horses in his native country, right? And going to European discotheques. You're only going to have so many more years of him in his prime. It feels like they're getting closer and closer to what Milwaukee is with Giannis. That's where it feels like we're getting to in Denver, does it not? By the way, both fired their world championship winning coach, by the way, and let key players go, and now have the faces of their franchise getting booted early from the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking great, and it does feel like start to move in a different direction for Denver. And
it feels that way.
I mean, definitely you could see and you start to see them slip over the last couple of years in the standings. So
correct.
This has been a trend for them as well.
So they've been trending down. Is this the offseason where ownership goes, okay, we've made some bad moves here. What are we going to do here? So it could be a very interesting offseason for sure. And finally,
the Boston Celtics.
They do what they do. Like they lose last night to Philadelphia 106-93. It really was only that way. It looks closer than it was because of the type of performance they were able to put together in the fourth. But the alleged contender for the Larry O'Brien Trophy, scored a total of 14 points in the third quarter. Like, you come out of the break and you get bullied. And once again, this is not a healthy Philadelphia team. And like I was critical of the Knicks for playing with their food against Atlanta, is Philly better than Atlanta? Yes. Is Boston seismically better than Philadelphia? Yes. Yet, they mess around. Derek White continues to be a player offensively where you go, woof. Like, woof. Jaylen Brown gave you 18 last night. Okay. He only took 17 shots, which I guess is fine. Jason Tatum gives you 17, but he gets hurt.
Yeah, he ends up getting hurt late in the third.
Double-double. They were never the same after that. And you look at Philly, Paul George, 23 points, Embiid, 19 points. Kelly gave him 14. Tyrese Maxey's a nice player. He got a guy gave him 30. Edgecombe, 14. All of their starters scored in double figures. Boston, and I love and respect Brad Stevens for what he did in college, and then what he did as a head coach of the Celtics, and then moving into the front office role was very good. He's been very good. Are we looking at this team going, this team, have we overvalued what Boston is this year? Because they're still the same team where they rely too much on the three-pointer and they go cold, and they really don't have a roster that should be considered a world championship contender.
I mean, I didn't consider them a world championship contender, and I thought the way they had played in the regular season and ending the regular season and the first handful of games in the playoffs, this was even better than I would have anticipated, especially after watching the start of the season. I just think after the amount that you had lost over the offseason, moving on from Horford, a key piece for you has been about a decade. You moved off of Kristaps because it was time to go with him, but I mean, he was definitely a key guy for the championship run. And they moved off of some other guys, and then you got some young pieces that are starting to show flashes of greatness, or not greatness, but definitely showing signs that they could be something and be a role player. But I just didn't think that with the Tatum injury, plus the young guys, and then having to start guys like Sam Hauser. Like, Sam Hauser's nice, but he shouldn't be one of your starting guard/wing players for you. And I thought this was a good team, just not a great team. And I just wasn't ready to absolutely crown them the king of the East because everyone else, after one or two games to begin the playoffs, saw this as this is going to be the easiest cakewalk of all time for our Boston Celtics team. That, let's be honest, if you watch the Celtics at all, they are good, not great. And I think next year I will probably feel a lot better. But the moves that they had made in the offseason and then had to make throughout the year was kind of on the fly, trying to adjust things. And I think it's better now, but they are still a ways away. I still have somewhat of confidence that they could win this Game 7 because they have a history of doing so. They like taking it to Game 7s and end up getting it done. But from what I've seen the last handful of games, Philly has just looked a lot better, and Boston just looks nothing like themselves.
They haven't. We'll see if they'll mess around and get eliminated in the first round, which would be a huge blow. And we still don't know if Tatum's even going to play in the next game. But we'll see. Let's quickly unveil our poll question of the day before we bring on our buddy Les East after the break.
Yeah, what's the best flavor of Gatorade? Are we looking at the Glacier Freeze, the Lemon Lime, the Fruit Punch, or is it something else? Some people like to go by the colors, not the flavors.
As our guy BP likes to go with.
I mean, usually I do too. It's like, hey, which Gatorade do you want? I'll take orange.
I've worked concession stands at games before. Yeah, people order based on color, not one. Now the original flavors, of course, are lemon, lime, and orange. Those were the two original flavors made by Gatorade. Of course, gets its name because it was made at the University of Florida, and it was designed to hydrate the Gator football players. I also remember when Fruit Punch became a big sensation in the early to mid 80s when it was unveiled as the third flavor. And of course, now we live in a world where there's 1,800 different flavors. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I went with lemon lime. That was my vote.
I think you could guess by my hoodie where I'm going.
Orange.
Yes.
But keep voting on the poll question of the day. Keep leaving your comments on Facebook and X, and we promise we'll get to them during this show. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, our first guest, Les East, talking Saints draft next.
Today's specials here on RP3 and Mesh, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street.
Southwest Volkswagen, it's where car buying is made easy. Upfront everyday pricing and transparency from start to finish. Massive inventory of both new and used cars. And when I'm saying used cars, I mean World Auto certified pre-owned cars and SUVs. Southwest Volkswagen has the great selection that you and your family have been looking for. They're proud to be Acadiana's only Volkswagen dealership, and they're just a short drive from Lake Charles as well. Just hop on I-10, make your way over. You will not regret it. Once again, buying your next car feels simple at Southwest Volkswagen right here in Lafayette. Go visit them today at 6184 Johnston Street right here in Lafayette.
From Tiger Stadium to the Texas state line, ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is your home for live and local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana. We're your official home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles also tackles the latest involving the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, McNeese Cowboys, and New Orleans Saints. So keep it locked right here. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
It's time, Shaq. The world-famous Brobridge Crawfish Festival is open now through Sunday, May 3rd. Enjoy live Cajun and Zydeco music, crawfish, and more crawfish, plus cold drinks, carnival rides, and family fun in the crawfish capital of the world at Park Hardy on Reese Street in Brobridge. Bring your friends and don't forget your dancing shoes. Add launch to the Brobridge Crawfish Festival now through Sunday. Visit bbcrawfest.com for tickets, music lineups, and more. Sponsored by St. Martin Parish Tourism, Courtesy Automotive, Louisiana Lottery, Super One Foods, and M&M Oil Tools.
This Mental Health Awareness Month, John Well Therapeutic Services invites you to prioritize your well-being. Hi, I'm Glenda, a dedicated therapist that provides a safe space for growth, resilience, and hope. No matter where you are on your journey, I am here for you. Whether it's anxiety, depression, or just the need for support, you are not alone. Reach out to John Well Therapeutic Services and start your path to healing today.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Beal & Hebert, your trusted hometown lawyers. At Beal & Hebert, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BealHebert.com. That's BealHebert.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit GoVote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Green 18 cent! Who dat ready for New Orleans Saints talk? We are. That's who. Time to talk all things black and gold. This is the Big Easy Blitz here on RP3 and Mesh.
And we do so with our friend Les East of CrescentCitySports.com. Les, good day to you. How are you doing, brother?
Doing well, Raymond. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well, trying to stay dry, as I think is the case for everyone in the state today and this evening. All right, now that you've had some time to study on it, and you've written about it, and you've listened to press conferences and players and so forth, how do you think the Saints did with the NFL draft?
I think they did fine. It's always hard to judge these things until you see these guys play for multiple seasons. But, once the draft ends, the best thing you can do is just see if there were any glaring mistakes where they drafted somebody who seems like an outlier, where nobody else thought they were worthy of that pick, or if it's somebody with a character issue, or if they failed to address a position of need. And I don't see any of that being a problem, except they did not really address edge rusher in the draft. But then they addressed it with some veterans, and they rolled the dice on the trade with the Raiders, hoping that this guy blossoms after a difficult beginning to his NFL career. But also the tackle from Georgia seems to be a versatile guy who could also help strengthen the defensive line as a whole. So even with edge rusher and defensive line, I think they addressed that pretty well over the last few days in addition to the draft itself. The first-round pick is fine other than the injuries that he's had, but I don't see that there's any indication that that's an ongoing problem. And then they addressed a lot of other needs. They certainly filled up the wide receiver room. So, I would give them good marks.
I want to dive into the wide receivers because obviously we know what the potential is for Tyson. And look, the Saints like drafting guys that have immense potential in the first round, and many times it doesn't work out, but they typically don't go safe in the first round. They take guys that have potential. And if it works, it's great. But they also draft a tight end, and they drafted 2 more wide receivers, and they made sure to sign a running back in free agency before the draft. This tells me that Kellen Moore says, I need more weapons. What does that tell you?
Well, I would agree with that. They certainly didn't have enough weapons last year, and the defense performed really well, especially the second half of the season. So I think they felt like, in fact, I think Mickey Loomis even admitted this, or maybe it was Kellen who admitted it after the first night, that the defense was ahead of the offense, and that was obvious from the statistics and the performance last year. So they had a lot of work to do on offense. They did a lot in free agency, which is why I thought maybe it would be a little bit more of a defense-heavy draft. But, they went with the people they thought were the best people at the time. And I was a little surprised they went for a tight end that early. But Delp is a guy I think they had rated as a second-round quality, and he was just too good in their minds to pass up. It also gives them an extremely deep position with Juwan Johnson and Noah Fant already on board, even if Taysom Hill doesn't come back. So they're all set at tight end without question. Didn't really expect that they would go for 3 wide receivers the way that they did, but, they upgraded the return game with the guy from LSU, and that position went from maybe being one of the biggest question marks on the team to being the most crowded position room that they have. So I think they addressed areas that they felt were important, and even though the number of receivers and where they picked the tight end surprised me a little bit, I don't have any criticism of what they did. And overall, I think everything they did, you can make sense of it, and now we'll see if the players vindicate them with their play.
We're talking with Les East of Crescent City Sports Talk in New Orleans Saints. Les, now that we've gone through the draft, at this point in time, with the fact that there was a lack of running backs taken, not only in the first round by New Orleans because of the talk of Jeremiah Love so early on throughout the process, but They didn't take one at all through all 7 rounds, and they get one guy as a UDFA. This screams to me that Alvin Kamara will be back in a Saints uniform next year, and he'll be in a tandem with Achane. What says you?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. That's a pretty deep position, even if Alvin weren't to come back. But there are a lot of young guys who have had injury issues, so it's by no means a position you would feel that you were set at if Alvin didn't come back. So I think that's the plan, is that they want to pair those two. I think they're really intrigued by the possibility with both Achane and Kamara in the backfield, plus the young guys. Plus they signed the guy from the Vikings with Ty Chandler, I believe, who also could be a kick returner. So there's a lot to work with there. But I would say at this point the most likely thing is that, Alvin comes back and they find a way to utilize all those weapons in the backfield. Kellen Moore has an awful lot of weapons between the running backs, the tight ends, and the wide receivers. It's amazing how many he has now compared to what it looked like coming out of last season.
Yeah, I expect to see a lot more competence next year, and I would expect to see more than 18 points per game for sure. I was saying, and this was a little bit more on me for saying being upset with a Tyson pick, but I think it ranged true. With the amount of wide receivers and running backs and tight ends that they now have at their disposal with the competition, I would expect them to be much closer to the 30 points per game than they were the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think so. The offensive productivity should be significantly improved. And, the reason they hired Kellen Moore is because he's thought to be one of the best young offensive minds in the NFL. So you got to ride the strength. And, when Sean Payton came in, he had the same type of background. Didn't have a whole lot more experience than Moore did, but they went and they got him a quarterback in Drew Brees, got lucky with the shoulder healing up, and then Reggie Bush fell into their lap. Marcus Colston came out of nowhere in the draft. And Pierre Thomas, undrafted free agent, and all of a sudden Peyton had all the pieces he needed to play to his strengths, and I think Kellen Moore's in a similar situation. Now we'll see how he does with it, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see how productive his offense is going to be with all these weapons and his expertise.
Les, we appreciate you coming on. Keep up the tremendous work you're doing over there covering the Saints and Pels for Crescent City Sports, and we'll get you back on next Thursday.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, we've got a very special guest coming on to the airwaves. This will be the first time that I will have met him in person, but we'll talk Kentucky Derby coming up after this. You're listening to RP3 and Mesh.
This is RP3 and Mesh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
LSU baseball will be back in action tonight in Baton Rouge as they welcome in the South Carolina Gamecocks for a weekend set. LSU is scheduled to throw William Schmidt as Cason Evans is still not back from injury, and the Gamecocks will go with their junior right-hander Amp Phillips. First pitch is at 6:30 this evening at Alex Box Stadium, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns will also be at home tonight as they host Georgia State on the Diamond this weekend. The Cajuns sit in 6th place in the Sun Belt Conference standings while Georgia State sits in 5th. First pitch is at 6 p.m. tonight at the Teague. The Houston Astros split their doubleheader with the Baltimore Orioles yesterday. The Astros lost Game 1 10-3, then came back and won Game 2 11-5. Now the Astros will stay on the East Coast to face the Boston Red Sox this evening at Fenway. Mike Burrows will get the start on the mound for Houston while Boston has yet to name their starter. First pitch is at 6:10 this evening, and you can listen to it on our sister station, News Talk 98.5 FM. And the McNeese Cowgirls took down Stephen F. Austin yesterday in the Southland Conference Tournament 5-4. Now the Cowgirls will move to today where they'll play the number 3 seed and in-state rival Nichols. First pitch is at 2 p.m. from Joe Miller Field. And for McNeese baseball, their road game tonight against Stephen F. Austin has been postponed due to inclement weather. They'll now play a doubleheader with the Jacks tomorrow with first pitch starting at 3 p.m. in Nacogdoches. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
May is Military Appreciation Month, and ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles and Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service in Carencro will be honoring our military all month long. Nolan's is locally owned and supports our military community every day. We honor and salute because freedom isn't free. May is Military Appreciation Month, and we salute you. Powered by Nolan's Lawnmower Sales and Service in Carencro and ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit duplessisbuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
One enjoys eating hot dogs and watching baseball. The other loves eating sushi and playing yogurt U-card games. Not sure exactly what that is, but good for him, I guess. Anyway, back to more RP3 and Mesh.
The running of the roses at Churchill Downs is going to be tomorrow. The first leg of the Triple Crown is, of course, the Kentucky Derby. And to give us a preview of the Derby is a man who's been a listener and fan of the show and the station for many years. And you know him as Salty Steve on X. But we also know him as someone who knows a lot about horse racing because he has spent 4 decades as a trainer in the horse racing industry, working Louisiana, Kentucky, Florida, California, and Canada. And now that he's retired, he has more time to come hang out with us inside the Beeline Abear Studios to preview this year's Kentucky Derby. Our buddy Salty Steve, Mr. Steve Flint, is here. Good day, sir.
Good day. Thanks for having me.
All right, bud. So what do you make of we had a few scratches this morning already. What do you make of a couple? This happens, I know, every year, but people would like to know. We already had Right to Party has been scratched from the Derby. Robusta is taking that horse's place. We've had a couple of different scratches. What do you make of that?
Well, this is the toughest thing in the world to do is to win the Kentucky Derby. You have to be perfect on one day, one time at 6:45 Eastern time. And horses that aren't up to it, it makes it difficult. And they scratch and probably go on to the Preakness instead of running in the Derby.
So many, but that does happen. That's a thing that doesn't get talked about enough, is that a lot of these trainers and horse owners will say, they'll look at the Derby field and they'll go, no, right? They'll say, no, we'll save our horse and just run them strictly in the Belmont or the Preakness. Why is that?
Well, it's a lot more advantageous to go in a smaller field with some horses. They're not big enough to handle the congestion problems in the Derby. It could be the pace. It could be a lot of factors. Trainers just tend to do what's best for their horses.
And what's best for their a lot of times owners would like to do what's best for their pocketbook as well.
Absolutely.
Because if you get a nice finish in one of the other races, then obviously the stud fee and everything that goes with that's the other part of this. Who is, for you, as someone who's been in this business for 4 decades, who do you believe should be the favorite for this year's Kentucky Derby?
I think probably, and I don't think the favorite will win, but I think Further Ado should be the favorite. He's trained by a local trainer in Louisville, Brad Cox. He knows how to win the Derby. He had a very impressive bluegrass, and he has a pedigree to go 1.25 miles.
Give me your thoughts about Commandment.
I think Commandment will be part of the pace factor. I don't think there's a lot of pace in this race, so it's going to force him to be a little closer than he probably would like to be, but he should be close at the end.
He's one of also the betting line favorites. Another one that a lot of people have been talking about in the last week is Renegade. What are your thoughts about? I waited. We asked the nice questions, and then I already saw Salty Steve's face start to change when I asked him about Renegade.
That's a brutal post position because there is no standout speed, so that's going to make a lot of horses want to contribute to the pace. And if that happens, they're all going to come down to the rail. He may get pushed back further than he'd like to be.
Now, for our listeners out there that may not be exactly familiar about that, there's in particular about the Derby, it's where you're positioned coming out of the gates. And there's a couple of spots that are notorious. I want to say the pole position one has not won the Derby since 1986. So that's usually the kiss of death if you're at the pole position one for the Derby. Why is that?
It's just very hard. The traffic problems are tremendous going into that first turn. And Ferdinand was the last horse to win out of the one hole. And Willie Shoemaker just weaved him through traffic. It was a masterful ride. I mean, it's very difficult to win out of the one hole.
Now, we also have a horse in the field, correct, from owners in Baton Rouge.
Yes, we do.
Correct.
Bernhardt, I believe.
Yes. What do you know about that horse?
I think he's a competitive horse. I think he'll be part of get a big piece of the race. It just depends on, honestly, how he handles Churchill Downs.
I've been to Churchill Downs not for a race. I went for a boys' trip. Well, there was bourbon involved. But we decided to go to Churchill Downs, do the little museum tour, and then they actually take you out to the rail, which is a very cool experience. And I've said this before on the air. Standing out there, you're not allowed to go stand on the track, but standing beside the track and seeing the spires and everything, like you feel it. Like you know that you're in a special, special place. For these horses, you just mentioned it. Well, can they handle being at the Derby? Is it the crowds? Is it the track? Is it a combination of all things? What is it? Because a lot of times, if we just go to Evangeline Downs, you'll see on a pretty nightly basis, you'll see a horse and the jockey won't be able to get the horse even into the starting line because he's spooked, right? The horses get easily spooked a lot of times. But what is it about Churchill Downs that's even if a horse runs really well at the Louisiana Derby or the Arkansas Derby or any of these other races, that it's just different there?
Well, there's a lot of factors that take place. First of all, they'll never run in front of 100 to 150,000 people again. There's a 6-story grandstand that stretches from the quarter pole to around the turn to the 7/8 pole. They'll never see that again. I mean, it's a tremendous feeling just to be in that circumstance. And the horse that adapts to it the best usually runs the best.
We're talking with our guy, Salty Steve Flint. Spent 4 decades in the horse racing industry as a trainer, worked across the country and even outside of the country. He's joining us here on RP3 and Mesh on this Friday edition to help preview the Kentucky Derby. The Running of the Roses is tomorrow there at Churchill Downs. Bob Baffert, one of the most infamous figures in horse racing, good and bad. He is a Titan. He has a horse in the field and a bit of a long shot, though. What can you tell us about what Bob's bringing to the table?
I got to go to Churchill Downs when his horse worked last. He worked 57-4. I don't know if he left his race on the racetrack that day. I think he was a little upset. I heard his interview after the work. I think it was a little faster than he wanted to go. I personally don't like horses that work that fast, a week out in the Derby. I think it takes a little bit of the game away from them.
So when you say that, you feel like when you're a week out like that it takes too much out of the horse. Like the horse needs more time to rest and to prepare for it. You think that overworks him a little bit?
Yeah, I think he cranked him up a little too much, and the recovery period takes a little longer. Not to say that this guy isn't a genius. He's won 6 Kentucky Derbies.
Yeah, yes.
But he wasn't working the horse. I think it had more to do with the rider than what Bob intended.
Now we look at our morning line favorites, right? Renegade is still the morning line favorite, 4-1 odds, followed by Further Ado, who you mentioned earlier. Commandment 6-1. Chief Wallaby is there at 8-1, and then the Puma is 10-1. Any of those other ones like Chief Wallaby or the Puma, you go, this could be maybe someone that has a good showing at least in tomorrow's race.
Well, there's 2 horses that I really love. I love Chief Wallaby. Bill Mott's an excellent horseman. He's won the Derby twice. This horse is very inexperienced, but he's run with some of the better preps going into the Derby. He added blinkers. Bill hardly ever does that. He runs 600 horses a year, and I think last year he only tried blinkers on 40 horses. 20% of those won, and out of favorites, 48% of them won that tried blinkers on. So I really think Bill's got a good handle on his horse, and I think he should do quite well. I also think Emerging Market, Chad Brown usually skips the Derby and goes to the Preakness that he's won 3 times. Emerging Market won the Louisiana Derby with only 1 start, having broken his maiden, and I think he's got an unbelievable ceiling. So I think he's another horse to pay attention to.
I've been seemingly asking this question for now more than a few years. And it feels like we're getting closer and closer to a Japanese horse winning the Derby. Is this the year that you could see that actually happen?
Well, I think they're used to the larger crowds. That's one thing he has in his favor. There are tremendous crowds in Japan that watch the races.
And we actually have 2 horses. One is born and bred in Japan. That's believe that's Wonder Dean. That's the lone Japan-born horse in this year's. But we also have another horse, Dan and Bourbon, who is a Kentucky-bred horse, but has been racing in Japan. That's a little bit different, obviously. But to your point, they both have accustomed because of the huge crowds that Japan has for horse racing.
Correct. That's one plus. I think it depends on how accustomed they are to Churchill. They haven't had as much time to go over the racetrack as some of the other horses, and the familiarity may cause a little issue for those horses.
We'll get you out of here with this, brother. Great analysis and insight as always. Give me the horse that you are going to be picking to win the Running of the Roses tomorrow, and then give me a long shot that maybe people aren't necessarily talking to, that maybe doesn't necessarily, maybe you think could win, but at least maybe show her place?
Right. Well, Chief Wallaby's going to be my pick. I think Bill's going to win his third Kentucky Derby.
Ooh.
I really think he's 10-1. And the long shot, I really like Emerging Market for Chad Brown. This guy doesn't take chances like that with the young, inexperienced horses. He's 15-1. If he gets a good trip, he'll be there at the end.
So just a disclaimer, Steve, nor RP3 or James Mesh or ESPN Southwest Louisiana are responsible for if those bets don't make. I just want to be safe, right? We don't need anyone hitting up Salty Steve on Twitter to be like, "Hey man, what happened?"
Yeah, why'd you make me go wrong? I was looking at the latest standings and odds as of 11:35. You bringing up Emerging Market, instead of him being 15-1, he's now 11-1.
Ooh.
He's going to draw a lot of attention.
That means money's coming in.
This horse has a very high ceiling. And he did win the Louisiana Derby, so really all of us have a vested interest in
There we go. There we go. A lot of times, it'd be great to have a Louisiana Derby winner go on to win the Kentucky Derby. But you got to pay attention to those horses that win the Louisiana Derby and the ones that win the Arkansas Derby as well. Right, that's another part of that. So, get you out of here with this, brother. Where are you going to be watching the races tomorrow? You got a nice setup. You got a party plan. What you going to be doing?
I'll probably be in the man cave and making bets for my telephone.
Steve, I appreciate you, buddy.
All right,
thank you for coming by.
It.
That's Steve Flint, our guy Salty Steve, with our Kentucky Derby preview. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap up hour number 1 here on RP3 and Mesh.
This is RP3 and Mesh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Attention local business owners. Delta Media is hosting a free marketing workshop next Tuesday through Thursday at City Club in River Ranch. We're bringing in a national marketing expert to break down what's working in our market right now. We're talking top-tier marketing strategies, AI, Google reviews, digital, radio, TV, and more. Food and refreshments are provided, so it's worth your time. And here's the big one. Just for attending, you'll receive a complimentary advertising schedule for your business. This is Delta Media supporting local businesses because we are local. It's not too late to register your spot. Visit deltamediacorp.com and send an email to John@Cochran at jcochran@deltamediacorp.com. That's JCOCHRAN at deltamediacorp.com.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
It's time, Sha. The world-famous Brobridge Crawfish Festival is open now through Sunday, May 3rd. Enjoy live Cajun and Zydeco music, crawfish, and more crawfish, plus cold drinks, carnival rides, and family fun in the crawfish capital of the world at Park Hardy on Reese Street in Brobridge. Bring your fins and don't forget your dancing shoes. Add loans to the Brobridge Crawfish Festival now through Sunday. Visit bbcrawfest.com for tickets, music lineups, and more. Sponsored by St. Martin Parish Tourism, Pelican Waste, Dudley DeBosier, Academy Sports, and Zealous Energy.
This Mental Health Awareness Month, John Well Therapeutic Services invites you to prioritize your well-being. Hi, I'm Glenda, a dedicated therapist that provides a safe space for growth, resilience, and hope. No matter where you are on your journey, I am here for you. Whether it's anxiety, depression, or just the need for support, you are not alone. Reach out to John Well Therapeutic Services and start your path to healing today.
This is Johnette Cochran with Delta Media, a locally owned media company right here in Lafayette. I'd like to personally invite you to our marketing workshop happening May 5th, 6th, and 7th at the City Club in River Ranch. We're bringing in a national speaker who will cover what's new and what's next in marketing. Everything from AI, Google reviews, to traditional media, digital strategies, and more. It's a fast-paced 20-minute presentation designed to give you real, actionable ideas you can use right away. We'll also be serving food and refreshments, so come ready to learn and enjoy. This event is for local small businesses only because at Delta Media, we are local and we stand with local. To reserve your spot, go to deltamediacorp.com and send me an email. That's deltamediacorp.com.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
Do yourself a favor and download the free ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app, powered by Moss Motors BMW for your Android or Apple devices. Download the app by searching ESPN 1037 Lafayette or ESPN 1041 Lake Charles. It's just that easy to take Southwest Louisiana's sports station with you wherever you go.
Some breaking news here to wrap up hour number 1 is that the LSU baseball game has now been changed. They were supposed to start tonight. They're not going to do so because of the bad, very severe weather that's supposed to be coming through the area, throughout the entire state. So LSU South Carolina will now play a doubleheader tomorrow, 1 o'clock and 6:30 start times there at the box for LSU baseball. Of course, we'll cover both of those games for you, carry both of those games for you right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles. We'll do so tomorrow. So once again, LSU versus South Carolina has been moved to tomorrow. Doubleheader action 1 and at 6:30. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns baseball team versus Georgia State. They've already moved their game to a doubleheader for tomorrow as well. State softball tournament has moved the semifinals to Saturday and then the championship round to Sunday. And we'll keep you up to date on what's possibly going to be happening with the Southland Conference softball tournament, which is going on right over there in Lake Charles. Quick update with results on the poll question of the day, if you can, Mr. Mesh.
Absolutely. When it comes to the best Gatorade flavor out there right now, 25% are saying it's the Glacier Freeze. 19% have said lemon lime. Another 12% have said fruit punch. And leading the way, though, 44% are going with other. Maybe we should have kept orange as an option after all.
One of my favorite Gatorade flavors besides lemon lime, and I do like the orange flavor too. I like the originals. It's one of the newer ones that came out like a decade ago, but it's white.
Yeah, I know. I think I know. Yeah, I know.
It's one of those Arctic ones. It's really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy that one a lot. But keep voting on our poll question of the day, which is always our foodie poll question of the week on Fridays. Hour 1, we covered a lot of ground. It's in the books. Hour number 2 is going to be just as busy. Matthew Musso from Musso at the Box will join us to kick things off. That's next.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet, heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit GoVote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
School
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
LSU baseball will be back in action tonight in Baton Rouge as they welcome in the South Carolina Gamecocks for a weekend set. LSU is scheduled to throw William Schmidt as Kason Evans is still not back from injury, and the Gamecocks will go with their junior right-hander Amp Phillips. First pitch is at 6:30 this evening at Alex Box Stadium, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns will also be at home tonight as they host Georgia State on the Diamond this weekend. The Cajuns sit in 6th place in the Sun Belt Conference standings while Georgia State sits in 5th. First pitch is at 6 p.m. tonight at the Teague. The Houston Astros split their doubleheader with the Baltimore Orioles yesterday. The Astros lost Game 1 10-3, then came back and won Game 2 11-5. Now the Astros will stay on the East Coast to face the Boston Red Sox this evening at Fenway. Mike Burrows will get the start on the mound for Houston while Boston has yet to name their starter. First pitch is at 6:10 this evening, and you can listen to it on our sister station, News Talk 98.5 FM. And the McNeese Cowgirls took down Stephen F. Austin yesterday in the Southland Conference Tournament 5-4. Now the Cowgirls will move to today where they'll play the number 3 seed and in-state rival Nichols. First pitch is at 2 p.m. from Joe Miller Field. And for McNeese baseball, their road game tonight against Stephen F. Austin has been postponed due to inclement weather. They'll now play a doubleheader with the Jacks tomorrow with first pitch starting at 3 p.m. in Nacogdoches. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Mesh. Here is RP3 and Mesh on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hour number 2 has arrived here on this Friday edition of RP3 and Mesh. I'm the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3, and I'm joined inside the Beal & Aber studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beal & Aber, Acadiana's hometown lawyers, by the producer extraordinaire, the LAB award winner, and the man with the best trash stash in sports media in the states of Louisiana and Mississippi, James Mesh. Hour 1, we talked the latest with the NBA playoffs. We gave you updates about how weather is wreaking havoc on the weekend when it comes to softball and baseball, both in high school and at the collegiate level. Once again, in case you're just now tuning in, LSU is going to be playing a doubleheader tomorrow against South Carolina, and then they'll finish out the series on Sunday. The same is going to be happening for the Louisiana Raging Cajuns against Georgia State. We also talked about the New Orleans Saints putting a bow on their NFL draft and the players they got after the draft with Les East of CrescentCitySports.com. We previewed the Kentucky Derby with our buddy, former longtime horse trainer for 4 decades. Our guy, Salty Steve Flint, previewed the Derby for us. Coming up half an hour from right now, we're going to talk all things SEC with Christopher Gordy of the Locked On SEC podcast. But right now, it's time for us to talk about the LSU baseball team, and we're going to do so with the host of Muso at the Box podcast and a producer and on-air personality for ESPN 104.5 in Baton Rouge. Our buddy Matthew Muso joins us now. Muse, good day to you, my friend. How are you?
Doing great, guys. How are y'all today?
Well, buddy, you don't have to go watch LSU try to attempt to play a baseball game, at least tonight. You'll have to watch 2 of them tomorrow. Does that make you feel any better?
I love doubleheaders.
Yeah, you do.
Actually, a little bit does. This is the first free Friday night I've had, I guess, since in the middle of February. So that's great. And I love doubleheaders. Going to spend 18 innings at a ballpark, that's great. Hate 7-inning doubleheaders because those are a travesty and it's not real baseball. Love 9-inning doubleheaders.
There we go. Baseball purists joining me now. I'm all about that. Yeah, if you're going to play a twin bill, play an actual twin bill. Don't play a pretend one. Come on now. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Speaking of getting it together, what's your confidence level that let's take away let's not even get into can this team make an NCAA regional. Let's just take baby steps here. A sweep of South Carolina, who's equally as bad as you are, would go a long way to starting to turn things around. Where's your confidence level in right now in Jay Johnson's team being able to do that this weekend with the doubleheader tomorrow and then the finale on Sunday?
Confidence level in winning the series, 2 out of 3, is much higher than a sweep. This LSU team has swept 3 weekends all year. It was the first 3 weekends of the season. They swept Milwaukee. They swept through the tournament in Jacksonville. And then for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday portion of that Dartmouth Northeastern deal, they swept through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, I guess we count more as a midweek game than part of that weekend series. If you want to count that, then they've swept 2. But it's not something that I can predict this LSU team to do at all. I mean, South Carolina won 6 games a year ago in the league, and LSU had a national championship team, and you did not sweep them then. It's just incredibly hard to do, and this is a much more competitive South Carolina team than you saw a year ago as well. So, I mean, confidence in a sweep, not high, especially without Case and Evans potentially being on the mound. I mean, you could need the whole staff 2 days if that's the case. So not high. I mean, if I had to, I don't hate to try to put a percentage on something, but I mean, I would say maybe 15% confidence that they could get it done.
How do they, because we haven't seen it in so long, what does this team need to fundamentally do to win this series to try to get back on track? Give me two or 3 things that they need to do as a baseball team to be able to win this series.
Number 1, throw strikes. South Carolina is dead last in offense in this league. They're not a good offensive ball club. They don't have one 300 hitter in their lineup. They hit 211 in SEC games only. In their conference, they're hitting 211. 245 overall in the season. They don't have power. They don't slug. They don't steal bases. They've struck out the 3rd most of any team in the SEC behind only Ole Miss and Vanderbilt. LSU strikes out a lot of hitters. The only way this team can consistently score runs on you is if you help them. Now, LSU has been far too eager to help the opponent this year with walks and wild pitches and hit batters and errors in the field. So throw strikes. Don't help them out, and you should be able to hold down this offense pretty good. We've seen LSU's pitching staff have really good weekends in conference play. They held Oklahoma to 9 runs. They had a great pitching weekend against Tennessee. Their defense really didn't help them out much in that series. So, I mean, that's number 1 is throw strikes. Can South Carolina go out there and have a really good offensive day? Sure. They scored 9 against Texas and won. They scored 9 against Arkansas and won that game. But over the course of a weekend, they have not been consistent in putting up runs. That being said, the other part would be continue to do what you've done on offense. And by that, I mean score early. LSU has finally been able to play with leads. Now, it didn't do them any good over the weekend against Mississippi State. But Mississippi State and South Carolina are not the same baseball team. South Carolina making that offense that struggles as much as they do chase you, that could be important. In LSU's last 4 games, they scored 11 total runs in the first inning. They have been getting off to fast starts, and the top of your order has been great. in some form or fashion. It's been Braun, Cerna, Aaron Beatty, Milam, Curiel. I mean, those five have really paced your offense, and you've gotten enough from the bottom half. So this is a team that looks like they're really finding their way offensively now. I like that. What you've done against starting pitching the last few games has been really good and much more in line with what you're used to seeing from Jay Johnson. So those are my two things. Score early, like you've been doing, and make South Carolina chase you. And in order to make them chase you, you need to throw some strikes as well.
What do you make of Jay's decision to start letting the youngsters go out there and start getting some much-needed at-bats to see just exactly what he has with that roster?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it is the move. And, I mean, certainly a guy like William Patrick wouldn't be an everyday player right now if not for the injury to Jake Brown. That's obviously very unfortunate. In terms of LSU's, long-term hopes for this season when that happened a week or so ago, but for the long-term hopes of the future of this program, it's good to get William Patrick out there and get him some at-bats. And he's had some nice moments. I mean, I think what you're really looking for him right now while the bat comes along, I mean, that's one of the reasons he ended up in college was the bat just needed a little bit more work, is high-level defense and good base running. And he's giving you both of those things. I really like what you've seen from Jack Ruckert. I mean, that guy, from the moment he first stepped on the field at LSU, he's just played with an incredible amount of hustle. And now you're seeing much better at bats as well. Let me check this actually real quick. I still don't know if Ruckert, he struck out one time in 34 at bats. He struck out 6 times in 34 at bats. So, I mean, he's been very good there as well, just giving you the quality at bat. And, I mean, he's starting to really put the bat on the ball, too. So you love that. And then, I mean, look, Braun and Cerna, those guys have been regulars, mainly for the season here. I mean, Braun's next at bat will be his 100th of the season. I mean, Cerna's going to have a chance to get to 150, maybe even 160 at bats this year. And they've been awesome. They've been great at the top. I think it goes just past the lineup, though, too, man. I mean, you look at what you've seen from some freshmen on the mound, especially Marcos Paz. I mean, he's going to be in the starting rotation for the rest of this season, which is great, for him going forward. And his last month and some change has been really good. You've seen moments from a guy like Zion Theophilus. You've seen moments from a guy like Reagan Rickens. So just getting them more opportunity out there on the mound is huge. And I would throw Danny Lockenmeyer in there as well, although he's not a freshman. He's a true sophomore, and Plog and Williams fall into that category too. So I love the youth movement. It's not a place that LSU is accustomed to being. It's LSU being just about out of the NCAA tournament conversation the first weekend in May is not ever an acceptable thing. But what you are seeing is a really good foundation being laid right now, and kudos to Jay Johnson for having to make that tough decision and making it and saying this is the direction that we're going to go right now. And look, it's led to better play.
We're talking with the host of Musso at the Box podcast, Matthew Musso, talking LSU baseball on the Mike's Marine Hotline. Muse, kind of looking at it with so many of the young guys going out there right now, whether it's Braun or Ethan Klaus or Harden or Ruckert, like we were just mentioning, with the amount of guys that are all freshmen at this moment in time, do you kind of just scatter them throughout the lineup, or do you kind of just put them in clumps together at this moment in time throughout the season?
Well, they've scattered them so far, which, I mean, I like. I mean, you've seen Braun and Cerna hit at the top of the lineup, and again, they're your two most experienced freshmen. I mean, again, both hitting over 300, both going to log well over 100 at bats this season. So, I mean, that makes sense. And then you've seen Ruckert and Patrick a little bit more towards the bottom, which that fits. I mean, you'd love to be able to get them as many ABs as you can. You're obviously not going to get as many at-bats in the 8 and 9 hole as you would 1-2, but those guys, they've shown in their limited sample to do rather well at being able to flip this lineup. I mean, you look up right now and a guy like Ruckert, who's only had 34 at-bats this year, he's hitting 265, right? So, I mean, that's not, it's not the 310 that Omar Cerna's hitting, but it doesn't have to be right now. And you shouldn't expect that from him right now. But what he's done is he's worked really good at bats at the bottom of the order. So I like Patrick and Ruckert more towards the bottom. takes the pressure off of them. They're going to see more fastballs down there, especially in the 8-hole where Patrick has been living. And, you let Cerna and Braun, who have been a little bit more experienced guys, go up to the top. It's going to put each of them in different situations, but each of them in very meaningful situations throughout the game so they can garner a really good experience.
I'm looking at the starting pitching for this weekend so far. Of course, William Schmidt will go tomorrow at 1 o'clock since we'll have that doubleheader. But I want to ask you about Marcus Paz. He'll be the starter for the second game of the doubleheader. He's 0-2 so far, gone just under 19 innings pitched in the season. But what have you liked to see from him?
He is central casting for a right-handed pitcher ace in the SEC one day. Like, that's just who Marcos Paz is. He's got the size, 6'2", 6'3". It is a ridiculously simple and easy, repeatable, low-effort delivery, which just leads to the low-effort velocity that you see, 95 up to 97 now that he's fully healthy. This is a guy, of course, who was, 18 months removed from Tommy John at the start of the season, so they've been very careful with him, bringing him along, and they've done a great job of that. And for the last month and some change, he has been really good. I will go back to his relief outing at Tennessee at the beginning of April. It was the best he had looked in an LSU uniform. The walk number has really come down a lot for him recently. He had the 3 walks against Mississippi State. But, if you go to that outing against State, that start, it was the first time he got through 3 innings all season. They got him up to 61 pitches. And each time LSU gave him a lead, he responded by putting up a 0. That's massive for this baseball team going forward in this season and obviously into the future. He profiles as a starter with the multiple pitch mix that he has. Again, the repeatable delivery. It's a sharp slider to go along with the fastball. And the healthier he gets, the stronger he gets, the more they can put on him. That's why I think you see the move to the rotation now, because that is where he projects in his time at LSU. Like, I think there is a world in the next few seasons, not saying it's going to be next year, but at some point in Marcos Paz's career at LSU, he could be looked upon as the best starting pitcher in the SEC. He's got that type of ability, that type of talent associated with him, and that outing against State was very encouraging. LSU gives him a 3-0 lead in the first. He loads the bases but gets out of it with a 0, is almost out of the second, but left a breaking ball up to Ace Reese, and he hit it over the fence because he's going to be a Major League Baseball player probably one day. But LSU gives him the lead right back, and he comes back and gets the shutdown inning in the third. So I think what you're looking for out of him, guys, is, man, he's got to at least match the 3 innings. Like, you want 9 outs for him again, but if he can extend and get you 12 and get you through 4, that's just another great step in his development. I'm very excited for the future of Marcos Paz, another guy who probably would not be at LSU if not for the injury that cost him his senior season of high school.
Before we let you go, Muse, we want to ask you our foodie poll question of the week. This one has to do with drinks, though. I don't know if you're a Gatorade guy by any stretch, but if you are, which is your favorite flavor?
It's a tough one, man. I like grape an awful lot. And I like the Cool Blue an awful lot. Those are the top 2 that I'll go with. And actually, that's not true. See, I said it's just tough, and I already screwed it up. That's not true. Glacier Freeze is also fantastic. It tastes like High C fruit punch, and it's remarkable. So I would actually probably say that is 1A, and then Grape and Cool Breeze or Cool Blue, or 1B, tied for 1B. I'm not getting anything other than those 3 flavors. But, yeah, the Glacier Freeze is, man, that's really good stuff.
Amazing stuff, as always. Matthew Musso of Musso at the Box. We appreciate you coming on, man. Keep up the tremendous work you're doing over there in Baton Rouge, and we'll get you back on next week, all right?
All right, looking forward to it, guys.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, more RP3 and Mesh right after this. You're listening to ESPN, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
This is RP3 and Mesh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Brobridge is known as the crawfish capital of the world, and all things crawfish will be celebrated at the Brobridge Crawfish Festival this weekend. There will be over 30 bands performing on 3 stages, and there's also the crawfish eating contest, a dance contest, a cooking contest, and the world-famous crawfest.com.
Your alarm and tune in Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock for Sports Shorts here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Join me, Ronnie Rance, and the Sports Shorts team of Tommy Christsan, Hunter McCann, and the crazy man, Joel Davis, as we break down the sports and teams that you love. The LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and everything in between. Tune in Saturday mornings from 10 to noon for Sports Shorts here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
It's time, Chef. The world-famous Brobridge Crawfish Festival is open now through Sunday, May 3rd. Enjoy live Cajun and Zydeco music, crawfish, and more crawfish, plus cold drinks, carnival rides, and family fun in the crawfish capital of the world at Park Hardy on Reese Street in Brobridge. Bring your fins and don't forget your dancing shoes. Add launch to the Brobridge Crawfish Festival now through Sunday. Visit bbcrawfest.com for tickets, music lineups, and more. Sponsored by St. Martin Parish Tourism, Courtesy Automotive, Louisiana Lottery, Super One Foods, and M&M Oil Tools.
Hi, this is Lorraine Vanoy with Service Chevrolet Cadillac, and in 2025, we want to focus on keeping Acadiana safe. Whether it's looking in the mirror or picking up an item off the floor, distractions can lead to danger. Glimpsing down at your phone, or even if your mind is wandering, can be a distraction. Louisiana ranks in the top tier of fatal crashes due to distracted driving. Keep your eyes on the road, Acadiana. Let's stay safe together. From your friends at Service Chevrolet Cadillac and this radio station.
Every weeknight, MeTV has your laugh therapy.
To chase away the blues or the olive drabs.
With 2 hours of MASH at 5.
This guy's ankle has tickled my funny bone.
Followed by the Andy Griffith Show at 7.
Doggone it, Otis. You're supposed to be hugging me when I'm arresting you.
But he likes you, Bart.
Weeknights on MeTV.
Watch Meet TV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
One is known far and wide for his luscious head of hair.
We just wash the hair. You know, I work on my hair a long time.
The other wishes he still had his. Back to more RP3 and Mesh.
Ooh. Me, oh, my crawfish pie. The weather is getting bad outside. Make sure you're safe out there today and this evening. If you don't have to be on the roads, don't. Let's just leave it at that. Once again, if you're just now tuning in, just to give you the most up-to-date information, LSU has postponed tonight's game against South Carolina at the Box. They are going to be playing a twin bill tomorrow against the Gamecocks. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns made the decision earlier today that they're going to be doing the same thing against Georgia State. They'll play a twin bill there at the Teague tomorrow. LSU softball is going to be playing a doubleheader against Auburn tomorrow as well. So everything being pushed in the entirety of the state nearly today and this evening. Now, it's still going to rain a little bit tomorrow morning, but it could change, right? It's going to start lessening up, so to speak, as the day progresses tomorrow. So that'll be a good thing. While we have some time here, we haven't dedicated a ton of time about discussing our poll question of the day, which is our foodie poll question of the week. Because on this edition of RP3 and Mesh, a Friday edition, by the way, We've talked NBA playoffs, about your little leprechauns deciding that they would prefer to have to go 7 games in an opening round series.
They're big fans of it.
Big fans of not making three-pointers and not playing really good defense either. We've talked NBA playoffs. We've talked New Orleans Saints draft with Les East of CrescentCitySports.com. We got a Kentucky Derby preview from our good friend and longtime racehorse trainer, Steve Flint, as well. And then, of course, we talked to the state of the LSU baseball team with our buddy Matthew Musso of the Musso at the Box podcast. And we've touched on the foodie poll question of the week just a little bit, but it's about Gatorade. It's the original electrolyte thirst quencher.
Gatorade.
That was made by University of Florida professors and scientists to properly hydrate the Florida football team because it gets very, very humid there in Gainesville. So they came up with Gatorade, thus the name. I told that story to my daughter yesterday, and she was like, no.
Stop.
And then she kept saying, well, Daddy, the blue's the best. And I go, sweetheart, first of all, Gatorade's not the one that came up with the blue flavor first. It was actually Powerade. They came up with a bunch of other flavors, but I remember when Powerade came onto the scene, one of their big things was like you could get the blue flavor of Powerade. And I was like, whoa, that's a game changer.
See, now you're referring to blue.
Well, that's how everyone refers to it as.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've worked concession stands enough just in the last year. And I go, what flavor Powerade? And before I could even get the words out.
But you were making sure that we went by the flavor name, not the color.
Yes,
as the options.
Yes, in the printed. Yes, in the actual words that you can read. Yes. Yes. Now orange is orange color and flavor. Yes. Lemon lime
works really well.
Yeah, it works really well. Lemon lime is undefeated. It's one of my favorites.
It's not bad.
Fruit punch is good. And I'm old enough to remember. I'm also old enough to remember Gatorade coming in a glass bottle with the pop top on top, and you like a Snapple bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you could get Gatorade unless it was out of the cooler on the sidelines for football or baseball. Like that was the only way. Like you went to the store, it came in glass. And I'm old enough to remember that. I'm also old enough to remember when Fruit Punch came to be for Gatorade. And you're like, whoa, what's happening? It's more than lemon, lime, and orange. We can get it in Fruit Punch flavor? What? What is happening? What is happening? But yes, you can't really go wrong. There's so many good flavors, right? They just are. Lots of good flavors. But of the new flavors, like I'm an old school lemon lime guy, but my favorite new flavor, James, is the Glacier Cherry. That's the one that's white.
Okay.
Glacier Cherry is one of the ones that I really like of the new school flavors. But look, we bought a small case of Gatorade last week. It's in the refrigerator. You know what it is? It's lemon lime. Got the kid drinking it too. You know, she's into karate.
I feel like the more
country.
I feel like the more iconic look is if we're doing it from the glass bottle perspective, is having it with the lemon lime.
Oh, that's what you remember with the orange top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe that's what Mike was drinking in his commercial.
They actually, I think they also created a special flavor for Mike too back in the day. Yeah, Michael Jordan made everyone want to drink Gatorade, which is
everyone wanted to be like Mike.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I could be like Mike.
Let's head out to the Mike's Marine hotline. Mike's Marine keeping you on the water. Reynolds been patiently waiting. It's been a hot minute since we spoke with this guy. How you been, buddy?
I've been great. Keeping dry because I'm trying to run between the raindrops right now.
Oh, good luck with that, brother. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's been a while since we spoke, but yeah, back in the day, I was a teen. I graduated in the '80s, '83. So yeah, the glass bottles, it was heavy too.
Oh yeah.
If you dropped that, it was over. That thing was boom. Made a loud noise.
Loud and noise. And they really didn't start, if you remember, Reynolds, they really didn't start going to the plastic until the Be Like Mike campaign was a thing. And that's when they really started mass producing Gatorade in the hard plastic.
Yeah. I remember when they made sugar-free Gatorade. I'm a diabetic, so that's normally that's all I drink to get the electrolytes and stuff.
Oh yeah.
My only I love Powerade or Gatorade. They're about the same. I would think. The only thing, they're a lot more sweeter than they used to be. Do you find?
I agree with that. I agree with that a lot, actually.
And I like that old flavor where it was slightly sweet, but wasn't sweet. But now it's like some of them, even the sugar-free.
Well, they had that saccharine taste to it, and it leaves an aftertaste. You notice that the ones that are the sugar-free or the zero ones, and you go and you taste it, and you're like, it stays with you a little bit longer than it should.
Yeah. Well, I work in the dietary field with dietitians and stuff, and the fake stuff, the fabricated sugar stuff is actually sweeter sugar, and your body recognizes it as sweeter than regular sugar.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, brother. You're not wrong. Well, appreciate the phone call, bud.
I love it, but I wish it wasn't as sweet, though. Y'all have a blessed weekend and try to stay dry.
You too, brother. You too. Yeah, like, James, you're too young to remember, but those glass, the glass bottles that Gatorade came into, man, it was like a blunt force instrument.
I was going to say, if I recall correctly, because I think I remember holding one. I was like, wow, this is like an ancient relic. This is a thick glass.
Yes.
This is a thick glass.
It was not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. But keep voting on our poll question of the day. Keep leaving your comments on Facebook and on X. Got to take a timeout. When we come back, how about our fourth and final guest of the day? Christopher Gordy will join us, talk all things SEC. That's next.
This is RP3 and Mesh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Do you need to get yourself a new handgun to help protect your home and your family and make sure they're safe and sound? Or maybe you're needing a new rifle or shotgun for hunting season, or you just need some ammo. Either way, go see my friends at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard today. They're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 6 o'clock in the evening, and they have a vast selection of new and used handguns, rifles, shotguns, ammunition, suppressors, and more. And look, if you're a little short on cash, don't worry about that either. Because at Louisiana Gun Shop, they've teamed up with a finance company right here in Acadiana that's offering 0 down and same as cash for 1 year. That's right. You can finance those guns, ammo, and even suppressors. Go see my friends at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard today, and tell them RP3 sent you.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
LSU baseball will be back in action tonight in Baton Rouge as they welcome in the South Carolina Gamecocks for a weekend set. LSU is scheduled to throw William Schmidt as Kason Evans is still not back from injury, and the Gamecocks will go with their junior right-hander Amp Phillips. First pitch is at 6:30 this evening at Alex Box Stadium, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The Louisiana Raging Cajuns will also be at home tonight as they host Georgia State on the Diamond this weekend. The Cajuns sit in 6th place in the Sun Belt Conference standings while Georgia State sits in 5th. First pitch is at 6 p.m. tonight at the Teague. The Houston Astros split their doubleheader with the Baltimore Orioles yesterday. The Astros lost Game 1 10-3, then came back and won Game 2 11-5. Now the Astros will stay on the East Coast to face the Boston Red Sox this evening at Fenway. Mike Burrows will get the start on the mound for Houston while Boston has yet to name their starter. First pitch is at 6:10 this evening, and you can listen to it on our sister station, News Talk 98.5 FM. And the McNeese Cowgirls took down Stephen F. Austin yesterday in the Southland Conference Tournament 5-4. Now the Cowgirls will move to today, where they'll play the number 3 seed and in-state rival Nichols. First pitch is at 2 p.m. from Joe Miller Field. And for McNeese Baseball, their road game tonight against Stephen F. Austin has been postponed due to inclement weather. They'll now play a doubleheader with the Jacks tomorrow, with first pitch starting at 3 p.m. in Nacogdoches. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
This Mental Health Awareness Month, John Well Therapeutic Services invites you to prioritize your well-being. Hi, I'm Glenda, a dedicated therapist that provides a safe space for growth, resilience, and hope. No matter where you are on your journey, I am here for you. Whether it's anxiety, depression, or just the need for support, you are not alone. Reach out to John Well Therapeutic Services and start your path to healing today.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station, and your home for the LSU Tigers.
Oh, our fourth and final guest on this Friday edition of RP3 and Mesh, of course, is the closer. And so we typically end our weeks with, because you know what? You could go out with a whimper. You could have a guest on that's not going to give a good take or is going to give a lazy take, who doesn't want to ruffle feathers, whether it's about questions concerning food or sports. But that's not how we operate here at RP3 and Mesh, which is why every Friday we close out the show and the week with the host of the Locked On SEC podcast. He's also a fixture on Sports Talk Radio in the city of Houston. Our good friend Chris Gordy joins us now. Chris, good day. How are you?
What's up, fellas? Just getting in some last-minute bets here like I'm Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah, there it is. Wise decision by him. Can't wait to see him in the UFL. So, let's dive right in. I'm going to ask you a very difficult question. Are you ready?
Okay, here we go.
Okay, we're going to start off with the foodie poll question of the week. And this week it's not about food, but it's about beverage. What is the best flavor of Gatorade? Is it lemon lime, the classic? Is it fruit punch? Is it other? You could go any of the glacier flavors if you'd like, orange as well. Or is it the very popular modern flavor of Glacier Freeze? What does Christopher Gordy say?
You know, all my life I was always a fruit punch guy, and I never realized that it was always staining my upper lip, so it always looked like I had lipstick on. So I've kind of moved away from that at my older age. But you know what? Like, if I've gone out, I've had a rough sweat and a good workout in the middle of the summer, I think the orange. I got to go orange or blue. I can't do the lemon lime. It doesn't do it for me. But an orange or a blue flavored, and you're sweating your butt off, that seems to be the best.
I'm going to throw one out at you for you to try. You don't have to worry about the stainage. Okay, you ready? Get you a bottle of the Glacier Cherry. It's my favorite modern flavor. It looks white. It's not going to stain your teeth, bud. You don't have to worry about that fruit punch, and it tastes delicious. Just throwing it out there for you. Try Glacier Cherry. You're gonna be happy that you did.
I mean, it sounds great, but I don't even think my local Exxon stocks that. So,
well, you live in Houston. Just go to H-E-B. I'm sure they have it in stock. They have everything in stock, including car parts some days. So
yeah, but if I'm on the way from the gym, I mean, like I'm not looking to go into a grocery store. I just need something quick.
Cat, that's why you got to bring your drink with you beforehand. This man's stopping by the bodega afterwards, having to navigate people that are paying for gas with change to buy himself a Gatorade.
Hell yeah, and hey, if it was a good workout, I'm getting me a hot dog too.
Oh man. Okay, bud. Let's dive in here for SEC baseball, if you will. LSU is on the struggle bus. They are just filthy wet garbage right now. So give me your thoughts on who do you believe the best team is? Not what the standings tells you, but who do you think are the few best teams in the SEC right now that have a legitimate chance of hosting regionals, super regionals, and making their way to Omaha?
Yeah, I mean, like right now, if I had to pick the team that I just think, I mean, look, Georgia's great. You can't go wrong with Georgia, but Texas A&M, to me, what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, their pitching's been dominant. Their offense has been really good. Man, they are in an important series starting tonight, hosting Auburn, and Auburn's been one of the more probably underrated teams. I think I've talked about them with you guys before. Nobody's noticed it, but Auburn has quietly won 4 SEC series in a row. All they've been doing is just 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, and beating good teams like Oklahoma and Florida and all this. And I just think this weekend they are walking into a death trap of Bluebell Park. We'll see if rain plays an issue out there at College Station, so that might disrupt some things. But I just feel like A&M sitting there at 12-5 in the conference, 34-8 overall. All that talk last season about, did we make the right coaching hire and all this, they have been on a roll, man. And I think they're going to take 2 out of 3 against Auburn, if not sweep them this weekend. And I think we come out of this weekend, potentially A&M could be sitting atop the SEC. Now, that's tough to say because Georgia's playing Mizzou, who stinks. So Georgia may end up sweeping Mizzou. But if they drop one, I think we come out of this weekend, Texas A&M possibly leading the SEC on Monday.
When you cover a game there at Bluebell Park, do they have free Bluebell ice cream in the press box?
They used to. I don't know if they still do, but they have all their, you get all the full Aggie experience. You get the cult-like cheers. You get the bubbles. For some reason, they blow bubbles throughout the game. You just have bubbles flying in your face. When a train goes by, oh, my God. I mean, it's like, it's like pull out the balloons and let's celebrate. A train went by. So, yeah, the Aggies are weird cats, man. But, yeah, they absolutely have Bluebell ice cream there.
There we go. I'm not upset about that. I may have to make a trip over there just to get the free Bluebell ice cream.
You really want to go for the bubbles.
Yeah, the daughter would appreciate the bubbles. I would appreciate the Bluebell. It's a win-win for the entire family. You got to think outside of the box sometimes.
you just have bubbles in your face. It's annoying, and they're cheering stuff. And you're like, what are they yelling? You don't even know what they're cheering, and then it's like, whoop, and it's just, I don't know. It's a very strange experience.
Oh, man. Okay. I want to ask you one more about baseball before we switch over to basketball, okay? Because give me a team that may be a little under the radar right now that you're paying attention to, that you're going, hey, maybe they're not going to win the regular season title. Maybe they're not going to be a top 2 seed over in Hoover, but this is a team that could do some real damage in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Auburn has been one of those teams. You know, I certainly think they could end up being a top national seed if they continue on their trajectory. Mississippi State has been interesting. Mississippi State's been getting hot here, right? They come off, they get swept by Tennessee, but then they've gone and they swept South Carolina. They sweep LSU. They play an important series in Austin this weekend against Texas. That's a big series for both Mississippi State and Texas. But if the Bulldogs can find a way to take 2 out of 3, you know, they finish with Auburn and A&M. All these teams are kind of in a jumbled mess, from A&M, Texas to Mississippi State and Auburn. Like, whoever can come out of this unscathed is going to have a great chance to be a top national seed and hosting throughout. So, but if there's one that's kind of like the dark horse, it is Oklahoma, because they started the season hot. Then they kind of hit a stride where they had lost a bunch in a row, and it was like, all right, well, there goes Oklahoma. And now, you know, they did lose 2 out of 3 to Auburn last week, but they swept Mizzou before that. They won a series against Vandy. They get Florida, Arkansas, and Tennessee to finish this thing out. So, again, if Oklahoma's legit and wins a couple of these series, I think that's a team that could surprise, because nobody had Oklahoma on their radar to start the season.
I want to switch over to the hardwood. 2 teams that I'm surprised by how recruiting is going, and I want to get your thoughts on both. It looks like LSU has missed out on some guys. I keep getting told, well, they got players coming. It looks like they're going to go the international route, or maybe even go get G League guys to come back to college to be able to put a roster together, which I'm a little surprised by how long that's taking for Will Wade, especially with his all-star lineup of assistant coaches. And the other one is just how bad recruiting's going for Kentucky. Share your thoughts about both situations for those men's basketball programs.
Yeah, the LSU one is wild, because we know they have money. I mean, it came out. There have been multiple reports on the money they have to spend, and at first I thought maybe they're just being very selective in who they pick. Maybe they got into some bidding wars with some other teams that they lost or whatever, but like, you got one dude on the team. I mean, this is wild. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you still need 5 to field the team. So, you don't even have a starting 5 right now. So, one of the craziest things, I don't know if you guys saw this last week, but they did like a very early bracketology, because we always like want to turn the page and like look ahead. And they had LSU projected as a 10 seed in next year's tournament. I'm like, we don't have a team. We have one guy. Like, how do you know this team's going to be a 10 seed? So it's wild, man. I mean, again, like, I would think that some news would come out. Yeah, I know it was the reports were Will Wade was overseas going to try to find a player over there, but I'm like, dude, you better come back with 8. Like, it's wild. Look, there's still a ton of guys in the portal. There's a lot of talent out there, but This is. I remember his first year when he took over at LSU when they fired Johnny Jones. Man, that was a weird transition year. I mean, it was. I think they made it to NIT and actually played the Raging Cajuns, but that was a rough up and down season. I just keep feeling like, man, if they don't strike gold here real soon in the portal, like, it might be something like that. But yeah, on the other side of things, Kentucky, yeah, they've struck out on a lot of big names that they were going for, including. A couple of days ago, we got this big commit making his announcement between Kansas and Kentucky, and he picks Kansas. And so Mark Pope just continues to lose out on pieces. And, again, like, they're going to have to really, really dig deep next year with the team that they got coming back. And there are high expectations in Lexington, as they always are. I mean, that better be a tournament team and make a deep run. So, yeah, but for Will Wade's sake, man, we need warm bodies. I mean, where are like the local kids that just want to, hey, coach, I'll give you 10 minutes tonight. Like, it is wild that they only have one player on their roster right now.
I get you out of here with this. Spring football's has wrapped up for some of the SEC schools. It's still wrapping up, so to speak, for others. Anything stand out to you from what you've heard or seen when it comes to the football teams in the SEC during springtime?
Yeah, I'll just give you the last week. Arkansas played their spring game last Saturday. Defense looked light years better. So talking to my Arkansas guy that was there, he said, yeah, the quarterback is still a big problem. So, last year was funny. Arkansas was losing all these big shootouts. This year, the defense will be better, but the offense might be worse. So we'll see on that front. But, yeah, LSU and Ole Miss wrapped up their spring ball this week. They didn't do, spring games, but, I loved hearing the news about the running back from LSU. I think it was Dylan Jones, the transfer from Wisconsin. Everybody's saying how impressive he's been. And all we've talked about with Harlan Berry and Caden Durham, it might be the Dillon kid jumps up and steals some reps at RB1 for LSU. So it's just been a lot of fun storylines to keep track of. Obviously, all the quarterback battles in Alabama, Florida, Arkansas, and Tennessee, those are going to continue on into the summer months. But I love seeing Brandon Marcello, CBS Sports, his post-spring top 25 rankings came out yesterday. He's got 10 SEC teams in his top 25. So I think that's pretty strong. I was told the SEC was dead, but I guess they're not.
They're not dead. I would like to see them, compete for national titles again. That'd be nice. I don't think it's, great that they're on the verge of going on an entire presidential term without doing that. So that I'd like to see that again. That's what I would like to see.
I don't know if you heard, but South Carolina won the National Championship, so you better show some respect. When it comes to riding horses, nobody does it better than the SEC.
There it is. Enjoy your weekend, brother. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, fellas. Stay safe.
We got to take a time out. When we come back, we'll give you an update on the poll question of the day, and we'll wrap things up and get you set up for the lowdown with D-Lo. That's all next.
This is RP3 and Mesh live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Southern Pets Animal Rescue will be hosting its second annual Tats for Tails fundraiser at Linkophilia Tattoo Studio located at 905 Savoy Road, number 9 in Youngsville this Sunday. You can bring dog or cat food for a chance to win an hour-long tattoo session worth $75. All proceeds will go directly to Southern Pets Animal Rescue. That's Tats for Tails fundraiser this Sunday at Linkophilia in Youngsville.
ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
It's time, Chef. The world-famous Brobridge Crawfish Festival is open now through Sunday, May 3rd. Enjoy live Cajun and Zydeco music, crawfish, and more crawfish, plus cold drinks, carver rides, and family fun in the crawfish capital of the world at Park Hardy on Reese Street in Brobridge. Bring your friends and don't forget your dancing shoes. Add launch to the Brobridge Crawfish Festival now through Sunday. Visit bbcrawfest.com for tickets, music lineups, and more. Sponsored by St. Martin Parish Tourism, Pelican Waste, Dudley DeBosier, Academy Sports, and Zealous Energy.
This is Johnette Cochran with Delta Media, a locally owned media company right here in Lafayette. I'd like to personally invite you to our marketing workshop happening May 5th, 6th, and 7th at the City Club in River Ranch. We're bringing in a national speaker who will cover what's new and what's next in marketing. Everything from AI, Google reviews, to traditional media, digital strategies, and more. It's a fast-paced 20-minute presentation designed to give you real, actionable ideas you can use right away. We'll also be serving food and refreshments, so come ready to learn and enjoy. This event is for local small businesses only because at Delta Media, we are local and we stand with local. To reserve your spot, go to deltamediacorp.com and send me an email. That's deltamediacorp.com.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Back to more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Well, let's thank our guest, shall we? Les East of CrescentCitySports.com. Steve Flint, longtime horse racing trainer. Matthew Musso from Musso at the Box podcast. And Christopher Gordy from Locked On SEC. That's how we close out the week. How about an update and any comments to share here with the poll question of the day, Mr. Mesh?
There's not much of a change when it comes to the percentages. Still leading the way is other when it comes to the best Gatorade flavor. The individual choices that we did give you, though, was Glacier Freeze, which has a quarter of the votes. About 19% have gone with Lemon Lime, and 12% have said Fruit Punch. When we look towards the comments, though, Ton says the OG, Lemon Lime. Ralph says best flavor of Gatorade is Powerade, cheaper and 50% more electrolytes. The purple drink is fire. Brody says cucumber lime for me. And then Go Cajuns just photoshopped a picture of Powerade onto the Teague. Kai says Glacier Freeze. Bo says the worst is Fruit Punch. So he decided to go in the opposite direction. Instead of saying the best, he went with the worst.
Man said the worst.
And then No One Saint says Glacier Freeze is 1A. Lemon Lime is 1B. And then JBK, wait for it, didn't even really give an answer when it came to Gatorade. He went with a Diablo Margarita.
Of course he did.
Shocker.
Of course he did. Amazing job by him. Truly amazing job by him. Keep those votes coming. Keep leaving your comments on Facebook and on X. We love to hear from you. Once again, scheduling update. This morning, the Louisiana Raging Cajuns have rescheduled their series with Georgia State. They're going to play a doubleheader tomorrow. They'll have the Jonathan Lucroy jersey retirement for game 1, and then they'll play the second game there at the Teague. LSU, during our show, made the announcement that they have decided to reschedule their game for today as well, that they will play a doubleheader versus South Carolina tomorrow there at the Box. And we'll have both of those games for you live right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles, your home for LSU athletics in Southwest Louisiana. That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back on the air on Monday, 11 to 1. But until then, be safe out there. Be kind to one another. The Lowdown with D-Lo is next.
It's May, and spring is finally here. A time of growth, renewal, and hope. And what better time to kick off Mental Health Awareness Month? Johnwell Therapeutic Services are proud to highlight May as National Mental Health Month. Remember, it's okay to ask for help. Reach out